Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kryptonian saying here, bringing you guys another discussion for Black Clover. And after our last chapter, we have to talk about the brilliance of what Tabata just pulled off in the chapter. Now, if you're like me and you saw Asta's fifth form, you immediately jumped to the conclusion that not only did Asta get a new power-up that made him damn near unstoppable, but it might have very well put him beyond Lucifero in his current state. Then you're really going to love the parallel that's drawn right here. So one of the first things that we learn about Black Clover is that in this world, magic not only means just about everything, but the amount of magic that you have and your status holds an extremely large amount of weight. We've seen Asta get treated like he's less than for not having any type of magic, and Libe in the underworld had a very similar experience, and now they're fighting the king of the devils, Lucifero himself. But this transformation just turned that entire concept onto his head, and here's how and here's why it's so beautiful. So Asta, with this devil union with Libe, now has more horns than Lucifero, which could open up the door for him potentially being more powerful and gain more status than Lucifero, which is telling because Lucifero is the king of the devils. Now, he won't necessarily be a king like Lucifer, but instead he's being positioned as being a king slayer who kills the king of the devils. Now, the irony in this is that Asta doesn't have any magic, but he has anti-magic. By using the opposite of the very thing that a lot of people in the human world value and the opposite of what the devil world respects, he's now gained potentially more power than that of the devil king. It's very beautiful writing, and it utilizes poetic irony as it does so. We were already warned early on that the relationship between Asta and Libe in the devil union was something unlike anything that has ever happened before. It was a true equal partnership in every sense of the word, something that we had never seen in the series. However, here's the thing. While Asta did say that Libe's pain made him stronger, which is basically Asta saying in that moment that your pain hurts, but I'll give you the power to lift you up when you're down, and we're going to walk side by side together to take down Lucifero. The thing is that Asta isn't actually equal to Libe, at least not mentally yet, and that's going to be important to keep in mind going forward. He saw Libe's memories about Lichta, and he heard his soul during that moment, but noticeably absent was the acknowledgement that Lichta was his mother. And noticeably absent was the manga panel where Libe specifically said that Asta was Lichta's child. He specifically referred to her as his partner's mother, and when the words "let's go brother" were stated, you could argue that Asta was saying that because in his mind, for all intents and purposes, Asta thinks of Libe like a brother, as in a comrade, not as a shared connection to Lichta. The reason why this is so important is that it opens up the door for there to be another future development here with Asta after Lucifero inevitably turns the tables on him during the newest fight that's taking place. However, just as I've been saying for a while that Asta will learn about Lichta and it will awaken a new power inside of him as a result, we still have room for another power-up that comes from Asta, learning that not only did Lucifero kill Libe's adopted mother, but that same woman was Asta's birth mother. This would allow Tabata to do something to power up Asta that is justified based off of the earlier bits of lore that we have in the series. We were previously told that new types of magic can be awakened based off of emotion, and that's something that we just saw here with Asta when he got his fifth horn, but also we were told that rare events can also awaken new types of magic. Asta learning about his mother could justify as being a rare event because Asta hasn't truly had a moment to feel the emotions of missing a mother's love. There might have been moments where he longed for a mother's love, but that's different because he's never truly known what that's like. You can't truly miss something that you've never actually experienced. You can wonder what it's like, but it's not the same thing. However, through the memory that Libe has, he's gotten a chance to see and feel that connection through Libe. That is a rare feeling that Asta would be experiencing, and it will be enough to awaken that new power inside of Asta because he would realize that Lucifero robbed him of that very experience. A new power might very well push him beyond Lucifer, and if it ends up being that case, then Asta's anti-magic might very well be enough to be able to negate Lucifer's gravity magic's effects, and if that happens, this will allow for others to join into the battle for a second crack at Lucifero, but this time they'll be backed by a version of Asta who can more than hold his own against Lucifer much better than he did previously, and by strong enough, I mean he's going to be able to actually pressure him and be on the precipice of being able to defeat him. Just based off of the last time that Asta had assistance in the fight, Lucifer had to acknowledge that Asta was a problem, that humans can actually harm him. Since then, he's actively looked for every single opportunity to take out Asta for good. Lucifero is all powerful, but he's threatened right now, and it's possible that both devils on the battlefield have sensed that for as overpowered as Asta is, he hasn't truly reached the ceiling yet, and most importantly, kings can be replaced, or in this case, kings can be killed. Looking at it, Tabata made a really good point to give himself a backdoor by having it stated that we were in new territory here with Asta and Libe with their devil union. It placed Asta on a sliding scale, and it's needed now more than ever before due to Lucifer's overwhelming power and the fact that we still have another devil that's waiting in the wings that hasn't entered the battlefield yet. Now, he might betray Lucifer, or he might mess around and actually be that final boss of this arc. Asta and Libe, for as powerful as they are right now, they can get even stronger due to the fact that they have shared experiences from growing up in worlds where magic was established to be of extreme value in most situations, and both of them have had to rise above it due to their own codependency on one another. It's through their shared bonds that it will grant them more of a ground to tap into more magic power that can give them the edge over Lucifero in this potential final battle, especially after Asta gains a potential 6th horn or even a devil crown once he learns that Licta is his mother, and that's going to be huge. He already has more horns than any devil we've seen before. Most of the devils that we've seen, they only have 2 horns. Lucifer has 4 horns, and now Asta has 5, one more than 50% Lucifero. This new type of devil union was set up specifically to be a benefit that deepen from the bond of Asta and Libe, and there is no deeper bond than Asta learning that Libe isn't just like a brother, but he is his brother, his adopted brother by Asta's biological mom. Tabata did not place that scene in there where Libe called Asta Licta's kid in all those montages for a reason. He's saving it for when Asta finally becomes Kingslayer Asta. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts about this possibility? Let me know down in the comment section below. So always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.